We thought Echo was trying to bite our daughter's hand, but what we discovered that night changed everything we understood about him. For 20 months, this Belgian Malinois puppy never stopped moving, not for a second. 4 families had already returned him, one after another. Not because he was dangerous, not because he ever bit or threatened anyone, simply because no one could keep up with his relentless energy. His name was Echo, and back then, no one knew why he had been born with so much fire inside him. Echo chewed everything in sight: shoes, cushions, cables, anything within reach. He tore through the house like a whirlwind, unable to stay still for even a minute. His shelter file read a simple but heavy line: huge backyard, no children, active owner. 3 families had followed those exact rules. All 3 eventually returned him, exhausted, unable to control the storm living inside that small body. Then Thea arrived. She was 28, a labor and delivery nurse, used to long nights and quiet emergencies. She lived alone. One day, while dropping off supplies at the shelter, she saw him for the first time. A restless, bouncing puppy, locked in kennel number 8, circling endlessly as if searching for a way out that didn't exist. She came back the next day, and the day after that. Without quite knowing why, she kept returning to that noisy cage and the dog nobody wanted. On her 5th visit, she did something different. She simply sat down outside his kennel in silence. She watched him run in frantic circles over and over without saying a word. 14 minutes passed like that. Then, suddenly, Echo stopped. He walked toward her slowly. He sat down in front of her, and he looked straight into her eyes as if he already knew her. That look was enough. That same day, Thea signed the adoption papers without a second thought. But nothing about life with Echo would be easy. At home, he remained a constant storm, knocked over furniture, frantic sprints from room to room, restless nights. Then one day, Thea learned she was pregnant. Her joy quickly collided with a quiet fear. Unable to sleep one night, she read an article online. The words chilled her. Hyperactive dogs should never be left alone with a newborn. She read it again and again, her chest tightening. She began to fear her own dog, fear of what he might accidentally do to something as fragile as a newborn baby. But as her belly grew week by week, something in Echo began to shift too, slowly, almost invisibly. The chaotic puppy started sleeping quietly at the foot of her bed. He ran less. He simply stayed still, as if standing guard over something he couldn't yet see. When Rowan was born, Thea brought her home, worn out from labor, terrified of what waited for her. She placed the car seat on the floor carefully, watching Echo out of the corner of her eye. Echo approached slowly, without rushing. For the first time in his life, he didn't jump. He didn't lunge forward. He simply lay down beside the baby, with a gentleness no one had ever seen in him before, and he let out a long, calm breath as if he had finally found his place. The weeks that followed were a blur of sleepless nights and exhaustion, but Echo had become far more than just a dog in that house. He had become Thea's silent partner. Whenever Rowan cried, he paced quietly near the crib until Thea arrived, as if signaling that something wasn't right. One night, Rowan was unusually fussy, a little warm, a little restless for no clear reason. Exhausted after hours of rocking her, Thea finally got her back to sleep, then collapsed into her own bed, overtaken by exhaustion. At 2:27 in the morning, Echo woke her. There was no loud barking, just an insistent nudge against her arm, refusing to give up. He pulled her out of bed still half asleep. He led her, step by step, into the dark nursery. Rowan was still sleeping, but her breathing was unusually shallow, her skin pale under the dim glow of the nightlight. As a nurse, Thea recognized those signs instantly, signs an ordinary mother might have missed. Meanwhile, Echo kept sniffing at the baby, alarmed, refusing to move away from the crib. A dog's sense of smell is thousands of times more powerful than a human's. Powerful enough to detect subtle chemical changes in the blood, Echo had sensed something no one else could have caught in time, a dangerous, silent drop in Rowan's blood sugar. Because of his warning, Thea was able to act immediately, without losing a single precious minute. The puppy everyone had judged too wild, too uncontrollable, had noticed what no human could have detected in time. He had never been destructive. He had been protecting her all along, from the very first day. Today, Echo still sleeps near Rowan's crib, watching over her night after night. He is no longer the chaotic puppy nobody wanted. He has become the silent guardian this family needed, long before they even knew it. What if that puppy, rejected 4 times, was simply waiting to find the one family who would finally see what he truly carried inside?